It's tough to follow Steve for several reasons. One is a personal story. After the election, my predecessor was Steve Stetler, and he was obviously, as most of you are probably aware, a very good, solid supporter of gay and lesbian issues and transgender issues. And I was asking Steve for some advice prior to swearing in, and one of the things he told me was, you're not going to find anyone with more honor and character in the state legislature than Steve Nickel. And I think his willingness to be here tonight and speak on behalf of these issues is a testament to that. Steve, I want to thank you for everything you do in the legislature, not on this, but the counsel you give on so many issues. It is desperately needed. At some level, my support for House Bill 1400, I think hopefully shows a trend that is moving in the right direction. I'll start off with the beginning of the term when I actually was discussing the possibility of being one of the leaders on this bill. And I think it is a good, positive sign. I am a co-sponsor, but to actually be one of the ones more out front. And I want to let you know that this is a positive, I believe. That is, there was a borderline fight in the Democratic caucus as to whose bill this was going to be, meaning people that wanted to be the lead proponent. I can't imagine that was the case 20 years ago. And so I view that as an enormous positive. Second, and I think even more so, the vast majority of freshman legislators. Now, I went to a liberal arts college, which was also liberal in Ohio, so we said first years, but they are called, even though we have a good number of women, freshman legislators. The vast majority of them are supportive of these issues as well as the gay and lesbian and transgender issues. Why? I think part of it is because they are fresh off the campaign trail for the first time. And they have heard from voters of what their concerns are, whether it be health care, property taxes, Iraq. We sometimes get emails, they're only going to vote for us if we get us out of Iraq. And, it's not much Steve and I can do about that. We may have our views on it, but, I hate to throw away a vote, but, it is a pay grade or two higher than me. But one of the things that just about every first-year legislator, and I know certainly I've talked to more of the Democrats about this than the Republicans, but I did talk to many of the Republicans as well, and that is they had more people when this would even come up at the doors saying they were for equality than opposed. And I think that's a critical point. In 2004, a lot was made of some of the president's support for some ballot initiatives in various key states. Ohio obviously gets most of the press, as a negative sign. There was something else that happened that year that didn't get a lot of press, in my opinion. And that was the Baylor College Republicans. Baylor University is in Waco, Texas, and is a Southern Baptist university, and it is known as being a very conservative school. Very good school, but known as being very conservative. And their college Republicans passed a resolution that year condemning President Bush for his support of a constitutional amendment banning gay marriage. That's the future of this issue. Now, sometimes we don't want to wait 50 years for everyone to become the dominant voting law. But I just want to say, I believe we are moving in the right direction on this. And I do think some level it is a bit more generational than it is party label among average voters. Myself, I can tell you, Larry brought up that I played on the baseball and football team in college, and I did, although not very well, but I did. But in high school, I had the fortune of playing at Three Rivers Stadium in the WPIL championship at Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League championship game, and playing at Beaver Stadium in the state championship game, which we beat Cal Brady's team 14-7, but that's another story. The reason why we were able to make the game at Three Rivers is because we won the game 3-0. Our field goal kicker made the kick to win the game. And it is something that we didn't necessarily know then, but we do know now, and that is, he is gay. But for him, we would not have been playing at Three Rivers Stadium. Beaver Stadium, and what is a thrill that I cannot describe. It is just something that, I guess there's some people that go in the NFL, but for most people, that's as big of a thrill as you're going to get. He didn't make the kick because he was gay. He made the kick because he was good. And to me, House Bill 1400 is that simple. If you're good at what you do, if you pay your rent, if you're a good employee, a good citizen, working hard, playing by the rules, nobody can deny you anything because you are gay or lesbian or transgender. To me, it is that simple. It is simply about whether you are good enough at what you do to get hired that you can't be fired. If you're paying your rent, someone can't throw you out on the street. It is that simple. In the history of our country, whenever we have expanded rights, we have always been better off. The diversity of this country is, in my view, its greatest strength. And empowering more people to use their God-given talents is not only a good thing in this country for that individual, but it is good for all of us. It says something about us as a people. Every time in our country we've expanded rights, we have been better off. House Bill 1400 is no different. I ask that you continue to press the case and the cause, not because legislators behind the scenes disagree. And this is something that I think is very important. Steve talked about the letters. I want to leave you with this. Behind the scenes, the majorities of, I believe this is the case with Steve, although he would know better than me, but the vast majority, in fact, I have yet to find a single Democratic legislator behind the scenes that doesn't agree. Sometimes it's the courage of stepping out and putting up that vote because they believe that there is greater pushback than there really is. I'll probably lose more votes in my re-election because I'm a lawyer than because I support it. It's not supposed to be that funny. Than I will for supporting House Bill 1400. And I believe also that the people that disagree with you sometimes respect the fact that you've staked out a position. I don't believe in running and hiding from positions. People elect us to take stands, fight for causes what we believe in, and then lead and try to make the case. I believe this is no different. But I will tell you that the vast majority of people that are fence sitters on this position are because they have doubts about where the public truly is. It is up to all of us to help to convince them that they will not only will they not be punished, but they will be rewarded because it is the right thing to do. So thank you for everything you do, Larry. Thanks for having us.